Because I'm like, no. Like, I was like, are you dumb? Like, are you actually dumb to ask me for this support? Words hurt. Things that people say or actions that people do hurt, especially when we feel like, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't have done that. I don't believe the Lord wants us to be abused. So let's make that very clear. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video here on Chats with Michelle. So, as you guys know, or maybe if you're new here, I'm quite literally obsessed with being obedient, right? Obedient to what it is that the Lord is telling me to do. And easier said than done, right? I'm not always really good at it. However, I'm just in a place and space in my life where I'm really working on surrendering, right? Full surrender. And that just brings me to today's video. So it's about the Lord's sufficiency, right? Like, is the Lord enough? Either he is good or he's not good. And I wanted to go ahead and share a story, a scenario, or a story, I guess, essentially, of something that I had to deal with recently in the last few months or so. So I was in charge of a project and I pretty much had no support whatsoever. And it's not because there wasn't support that could be provided, there just was no support. And I quite literally had to do everything and it all by myself. Now, as I was doing the project, whatever like that, I was, at first it was kind of like, that kind of sucks, but I just took it with stride, honestly, and I just did what I had to do. I did the dang thing, and if I do say so myself, I feel like I did a really great job. Now, fast forward, my assignment comes to an end. However, there's still another project that needs to be done that I necessarily won't be a part of. However, those who were not very supportive did not help very much. They were going to be on that project, and lo and behold, what do you know? What do you think? They were going to need some of my help in the sense of just like my resources, right? The resources that I could provide, the things that I did in the last project. And I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I was really annoyed and frustrated when this request was made because I'm just like, well, can I be real with you? I was like, no, I didn't say no, but in my head, I was like, yeah, immediately no. Like, absolutely immediately no. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. Like, no. And with me saying no and just quite literally being frustrated, I kid you not, I began to get convicted. I started to feel convicted. And I felt like the Lord was saying to me, Michelle, you are offended. You are offended. You are frustrated, because I was frustrated. And if this is your first time watching me, or if you haven't seen it already, I literally recently made another video about offense, being offended, and I'll go ahead and link that video for you. But this has been something that the Lord has been working with me throughout this year about being offended. And I'm just like, the Lord was like, Michelle, like, that's an offense right there. You need to get rid of that. And I'm gonna be real. Like, let's be real. In a way, it was a bit of pride. It was pride, because I'm just like, ain't no way that I worked on this project previously and I quite literally did it all, right? And y'all didn't help. I didn't ask for help. And it was cool at the time being, to be honest, it really was cool. I was like, I figured it out. I did it all on my own and it's okay. And I wasn't tripping at that time. And I genuinely was okay. That was the crazy part about it. Because I just made it my own. But at the same time, like, after the fact, I realized, well, maybe I did feel some kind of way in the past. And I was quite literally being prideful in that moment, because I'm like, no, like, I was like, are you dumb? Like, are you actually dumb to ask me for this support? Because, like, I don't want to give away my good ideas because my project went really well, you know what I mean? So now, like, the whole thing, I just was like, me, I. Girl, because I'm just so great. And the big kicker of it all that really just, like, I'm not gonna lie, just kind of like annoyed me. I was really annoyed, but I felt like the Lord was telling me, like, is my grace only sufficient for you? Like, do they not also deserve grace? Because I want to say this too, it's not like they were like mean people, rude, nasty. It was just like, you got it, okay, you do it, and we're never gonna help, so it was like, is my grace only sufficient for you when you do something that maybe is not the best or wrong, or when you need a second chance, essentially, or maybe you need help or support? Like, don't you get grace, or don't you hope that you will receive grace? So like, is my grace only sufficient for you? Do they not deserve grace? And in saying all of this, I really do want to be clear, because I want to make the clear distinction between like being abused, right? Because I don't believe the Lord wants us to be abused. So let's make that very clear. I do not believe the Lord wants us to be abused. And I do know that there is boundaries that should always be in place. However, with that being said, I also think and believe that we know when we are willingly being disobedient. You know what I mean? And in that moment, season, whatever, I was just being willingly disobedient because I was like, I was mad. I was annoyed. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to help y'all. Like, no, figure it out, figure it out. If it isn't obvious, I chose to forgive them. So for those of you who need the end of the story, who's like, okay, Michelle, get to the point. Girl, you're being long-winded. You're taking us all around. I chose to forgive. I chose not to be offended. And that's what I've been learning this whole entire year, is that like forgiveness, or being offended rather, is a choice. And to be clear, again, let me clarify. It's not that you or I will never be offended. That's not even like humanly possible. We're humans. We have feelings. People are going to offend us. People are going to hurt our feelings, etc. However, I believe it's also like just choosing and making the choice of like how long you're going to choose to be offended. And to just like wrap this all up, to put a bow on this whole thing, this whole video, I think the lesson here is learning to release offense quickly, as quick as possible. Like I said, obviously there's boundaries when there needs to be boundaries. We know if someone's just trying to pull a fast one, we know. However, also it's just choosing like not to just hold on to offense longer than we need to, because I feel like it hurts us. Like it hurts you the most. And I feel like that's what the Lord has been trying to teach me this whole entire year, is just like letting go of offense quickly. Because like I said, we are absolutely 100% human. At least I know that I am, right? And things hurt, right? Words hurt. Things that people say or actions that people do hurt, especially when we feel like, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't have done that. Like, why would someone else decide to treat me that way? Like it hurts. At the same time, we have to choose to let go of the offense and move on with our lives, whether that is forgiving that person, or creating a boundary with that person, whatever that is. But you just have to let go of the offense so you don't just grow this like, you start growing this callus over your heart, and your heart just becomes so hardened. Like I was realizing that this year, I'm like, I do not want to have a hard heart. I want to have a tender heart. I want to have a soft heart. I want my heart to be open, where it's like, yeah, I can create boundaries with some people, but I also want to be open where I can allow and invite people into my life and not feel like, oh no, I can't trust nobody. So like, hex to the no, it's me, myself, and I. Like, no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? With that being said, thanks so much for tuning into another video here on Chats with Michelle. Listen, if you found this video valuable, give it a like, please, and consider sharing it with somebody who you think will also find it valuable. And also, if you have not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe, because listen, we've got so much to chat about. Bye.